soul of deliverance from my
Hey, good evening,
enemies.
everybody. Thanks for
Till
being
all
part of this
my
live broadcast
fears
today.
are cold.
Wherever you are joining from, it's a pleasure
I'm no
to
longer a
have you here.
slave
If
to
you are just
fear.
joining in, make sure that you
I
like the
am a
video,
child.
click the share button, and also drop a comment
I'm no
so that
longer
we know where you're
a
watching from. And of course,
slave to
we will be
fear.
able to greet you, especially welcome you to the live
I
broadcast.
am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has
And please
called.
keep on sharing this live broadcast. Share it to your friends, share to
I've
your
been
group,
born
and then
again
share to
to
WhatsApp,
a
everyone
family.
as much as possible. Hello, thanks for being
Blood
part of the live
flows
broadcast.
through
I'm Christian Long,
my
aka
veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
Keep joining, keep coming in, keep joining, keep sharing, dropping your comments. We will be in about 1 minute 30 seconds.
I am surrounded by the arms of the Father. I am surrounded by songs of deliverance. We've been liberated from our bondage. We're the sons and the daughters. Let us sing our freedom. Oh,
Okay, so and it is time to finally come live. It's time for us to finally start the live broadcast this evening. Hello, thanks for being part of the broadcast, everybody, and thanks for tuning in today and for sharing. Hi, my name is Christian Gong, and I'm here in the studio today with two wonderful, beautiful ladies, people who are beautiful both inside and even in the brain, and who are so excited to share with you what they have today as far as our topic is concerned. And as you all know, today we are going to be talking about nannies and the challenges that they are facing. We had to identify that this is a very sensitive topic. This is something that has really been happening lately and nobody's talking about. And as the voice of the voiceless, we have to talk about this and see some of the challenges that some of the ways we can be able to ameliorate this. So in the studio, I have with me today, let me start with Anika, who is a volunteer voice of the voiceless. Hi, Anika. Good evening.
Hi, Danny Chris. Good evening. Good evening to all our viewers all over the world in Cameroon, in Douala, where I am, in Yaoundé. I'm so happy to be part of this platform again.
Of course, it's always a pleasure having you here because anytime you come here, like lives are transformed. People get excited because the knowledge that you share is truly wonderful. You have both the experience and the knowledge, and we are so happy again to have you. And again, we have another person. We have Abigail, can be Abigail, who is the founder and the CEO of Abi Home Solution. I know it's not the first time I'm having her. I had her one time on Voice of the Voiceless, and we are so excited to have her again today. Hello, Abi. Good evening.
Good evening, Daddy Chris. Good evening, Madam Angui, and good evening to the viewers, both in Cameroon and worldwide. I hope you all had a blessed Sunday.
Of course, thank you so much. We are so excited to have an expert like you on the live show today. Of course, you and your organization, your company have been doing a wonderful job as far as placement of nannies training is concerned in Cameroon. And we believe
Thank you.
that you already have a lot that you are going to share. So let's take a moment, greet some of our viewers who are just joining the live broadcast, and why not dive directly into the topic to see what you guys have for us today. Like, it is going to be so exciting. And if you are just joining this live program, please do us a favor to share and then invite your friends to join in. All right, I have Lovelinja who is watching. We have Rafael Ambu. We have Rodrigue Young and Kambom General Pele Pele. We have Gong Bekla who is joining. We have Tanya Sidoni. We have Boris. Thanks, Boris, for joining. Cynthia B. Precious, Arvin. And then I'll be coming back to greet most of you because right now I just feel so excited to go in. So, Anika, let's start with you. We are talking about today, we are going to be talking about nannies and the challenges they face. Now, let's first of all start by asking you this question. Why do you think that it is really important to talk about this topic or to sensitize people about this particular topic today?
Okay, the reason why I feel I believe this topic should not be ignored is because we have so many people in the society that are mentally handicapped because they went through cycles like this. They went through things that they could not open up to people. So it is important for us to use our various experiences in life to educate the public about some of the hidden things which they might not even be aware about or that is going on with these nannies that they take in their homes.
Okay. So we are going to, it's about educating people because there are things that we look at trivialities and
Yeah.
actually they have been causing a lot of harm. And we believe that this sensitization is going to help the nannies and also help the people that are taking nannies into their home. And today we have Abi, who is the CEO of Abi Home Solution, and they are also doing placement of nannies in Cameroon. Abigail, let me ask you this question. Today we are talking about nannies. Do you think that it is really important for us to talk about this topic? And why do you think that we should talk about the topic as someone who has been in the field and also working with a lot of nannies?
Yeah, I feel like if we have the voice to share experiences of what most nannies go through in the house, in the hands of the bosses, or in the houses where they work in taking care of children, the experiences they go through, at the end of the day, you discover that they're breaking up or they're depressed or something is happening to them, and then they don't have anyone to share it with them because they feel like they are in a bondage. And at the end of the day, they are there to receive money, or they are there to work. Most employers, they break the contracts because they feel like these people, they don't have anyone to stand up for them, or they don't have anyone to fit in the gap that they can speak up to. So I just feel like we should talk about it so that at least these girls or these boys that they work in people's houses and they don't have the voice to say whatsoever they are facing when they are breaking up, we should fill in the gap to speak it out for them so that the world at large will know the experiences they go through in various places or various houses that they work in.
Absolutely. I think that is important. I agree with you 100%. You have been working with a lot of nannies and working, but like I see you, you do contracts with people and then you supply nannies and then you work with the nannies and you work with the people that take them into their homes. What are some of the challenges that you have been having as a person with either with the people that you supply to them or the nannies that you send into those homes?
Okay, let me first of all talk about the experiences or the challenges I get when it comes to me and the nannies. Most of them, they are not educated, and when you ask them few questions, because I consider nanny job to be like any other ordinary job. When you want to apply for a nanny job, you need an application. There are few questions that I have to ask you, level of education, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I discovered that most of them, they are not educated, and they feel like this kind of job, since I no go school, I get for do the kind job. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
So they are going in with the mentality that they are not educated. And so I always ask them, now that you are not educated, you are going to take care of a child. Let me say maybe a child who is in class 1, class 2. What if they ask you, or that child comes back to from school, and the mom is not there to help him or her with the assignment? What are you going to do as the nanny? Because you are there to represent the mom or the parents whensoever they are absent. How are you going to feel it? One would be like, I no go miss school, yeah. I beg, that means I not doing that kind of job. And I say assignment, they say the assignment they do, and I say I'll get for the do assignment. I'm like, okay, no problem. So those are the few challenges that I get with them. And the way they behave is different. You know that when you meet someone or you discuss with someone that is educated, it's different from someone that is not educated. So I have to take a lot of things into consideration, and then I have to mind the way I talk to them. But yet I still have to interview them like I interview other people,
Yeah.
and they might get offended like I'm insulting them, or I'm asking them too much questions when they've already told me that they're not educated. So those are just a few challenges I get from them. Now going to the side of the employees or the bosses, it's too much. Oh,
Okay.
most of them, when someone comes to me, because I've made it that anybody who comes to me that wants to get a contract from me, like you want to have a maid from Abby's Home Solutions, there is a form that I send to you, and in that form, the salary there, it states one side of it states that no nanny or no maid is supposed to be paid below 50,000 francs. This is always a very big problem. Personally, stay for my house at the 50
Mhm.
housing, I'll pay like 25,000 francs is enough. After all, she's eating. When she's sick, I will take her to the hospital. When this and that, I'm like 25,000 francs. This child will be living with you, taking care of your children. And if she's living with you, she has to be cleaning the house. She has to be cooking, doing your own laundry, maybe ironing and running errands. And then at the end of the month, you want to pay her 25,000 francs. That's not fair. And most to that, we train them before we give them to you. So the 50,000 francs is okay. It will become a very big problem, because it's like she is living in your house and you are taking care of everything.
Yes.
One will come and convince you that they will take care of this child. At the end of the day, the complaints I get from them, Madam Abi, I am sick. I said, but your boss said they will take you to the hospital whensoever you are sick. They said that if they take me to the hospital, they will cut it from my salary. Madam Abi, I eat just one time in a day. Madam Abi, I wake up at times at 4 a.m. and I go to bed very late. That is because they have to wake up very early. When they are sleeping and the baby is disturbing, they have to wake up at midnight taking care of that child, and the mom is sleeping. These are things that nanny is literally doing every day, and you want to pay that girl 25,000 francs. All her life now depends in your house, because at times when she begs permission to go and visit her own family, you as a boss, you refuse, because maybe you might want to wake up and go to work, and she has to take care of the kids. So her life, it's like she is in a prison in your house. She wakes up very early. She's the last to go to bed. Even when she goes to bed, she will have to wake up at midnight, maybe to take the children to the toilet, to poo or to pee, stuff like that. And the maltreatment they get there, the insults at times also. One will come talking or reporting herself and crying. But at the end, please, do you want to stop? No, if I stop, I don't have any other job again. I've not even gone me to school or things like that. So most of the employers, they break the contract or the agreement that I had with them, they break it. They don't even obey it again since they are already in their houses. Imagine a child taking care of your own kid and eat just one time or twice in a day, and then when your child says she's hungry or he's hungry, food is available. He's the first to wake up. He does laundry, she does cooking, she does cleaning, and she takes care of kids. That is being a maid and being a nanny. Two things in one.
This is Abby. It looks like we are going to be coming back to you again, because this is actually, from what you say, it is touching. They say matters that touch the heart, because we understand that a lot of people, they have been neglected and it looks like they are being used. Now we will get to Anika, and let's also hear from her. I want to hear from you, Anika. We understand that, just like Abigail has said, a lot of contracts are not being respected. There's a lot of maltreatment. A lot of nannies are crying in their homes where they have been taken in. Now, what are some of the challenges that you feel that they have been going through or they have been facing, and what do you think we can do to be able to ameliorate this situation?
Oh, okay, Daddy Chris. The first challenge that I, as being a person, being myself, I cannot say I have been a nanny, but I have been in that context. You know, when you're with relative, extended relative like that, you always look at it as relative, but when you see the expectations on you, you know your definition is a nanny. It's not what you think is in your head. So first of all, being in that context and then seeing other people in that same context, the first difficulties you face is the ability is you not having people that you can confine in. That's the first one. You have nobody that you confine in. Most nannies, they don't have people that they can confine in, and as a result of that, they bottle up a lot of things in them, which um, gets them to a point of a breakdown. Thirdly, they have no the people that they might even want to listen to them don't take them, don't consider what they say as an excuse or as something serious to work upon or to work on. So all that also affects them. Then we have over expectations from this guidance, from maybe extended relative or guidance. Let me just use guidance because most of the times are just guidance. We have over expectations from the nannies and less expectations from themselves. What do I mean over expectations from the nannies? This is somebody that is like let me just say a partner that you are getting married to that you know nothing about, you barely know something about. Now you are expecting this person to live at a particular standard in your house when this person has came or is coming from a different background. You want this person to live the way you want, but you don't want to exercise the patience to bring up this person in the most polite and responsible way to match your beliefs and purpose. Now on their part on their part as the bosses, they don't see that there are responsibilities on themselves to take care of these nannies, like to listen to them. It is very, if you have a nanny in your house as a boss, it is therapeutic for you to always have a session with them. Whether how bad they are, you must have a time that you talk with them, you ask them questions about their job, about the relationship in the house, about the atmosphere, in order to know where you can help, in order to know how you can help this child, because this child is not just helping you, but she's also growing, she's going through a transition in her life which might affect her. In that way, you are even going to know how to better them. So I think these are the challenges that I faced. I faced them, and so many children around me that I'm living with them, they face them. And then we have another difficulty, which is having going through a phase in your life and then not being able to, or assuming, the bosses, they assume things, and then they don't even ask, they don't even take time to investigate these things privately before they come out. Imagine you suspect that your child is having a your nanny is having a boyfriend. The first thing you can do is to threaten that child that she's pregnant. You can imagine how traumatic it can be. And that child is going to school. Maybe probably you are paying that child school fee, you are expecting that child should pass. And at the same time, you are accusing that child is pregnant, and you are bringing relatives in the house to fight that child is pregnant, and the child is not even pregnant. So some of the ways they handle some of their assumptions, their fears, so many guidance, they have fears in them that they don't even know how to approach the fears with their nannies. So those are the difficulties that I have seen, I have experienced, and most of the nannies or most of the children that live with guidance, they face in their houses.
Okay, so this is we are like, from what I've heard, you and Abigail, you are actually driving towards the same direction, and we are getting a very blurry picture of what the nannies are facing, especially in Africa. And this is actually maybe because there are no regulations whatsoever. Now, I had a question. Somebody just popped up a point on this, which I think I displayed it on the screen. They said employers are crying too. Now, I want to ask, maybe Anika will have something to contribute. Let me direct this question first to you, Abigail, because I know that you work with, you are like a contractor between employers and employees. Let me say between nannies and their employers. And basically, you also arbitrate. You are like an arbitrator as well, because you have to resolve problems between the employers and the nannies. Do you have, according to the rate of problems or concerns that you have, do they come mostly from the nannies or from the employers themselves?
From the nannies.
From the nannies. Okay.
A nanny can actually, yes, most problems comes up from the nannies and not the employers. It is true that most nannies, or some, no, not most, some of them, few of them are actually stubborn. But I believe it is not to that extent, or because you cannot dictate someone's character at times. Some of them, they will go into those houses first 3-4 months. They are very nice, they are very cool, very lovely. But as months goes by, you see them, they start changing, or the character starts changing. Now, I think it's the position of you as the employee to sit that child down and ask, what is happening? Why did you change? Where did I fail you as your employer? Because I believe you coming to this house, this is how we agreed, and you have been too nice. What happened that you changed? Because I believe that if a child comes to your house and in a space of 1 week you're not comfortable with that child, you have to get back to me. But employers they always bring their problems like in the space of 5 months, 6 months. I'm like, okay, so it means from the 1st to the 5th month, were they very okay? They say, yes, she was okay. I don't know what happened. I said, okay, so have you sat her down to ask what is happening, or why she changed, or this and that? I don't even have that time. I wake up very early and I go to work. When I come back, I'm too tired. You see, that is where the problem is. You don't have time to sit her down and discuss with her. Or there are things that she needs to discuss with you. But since there is no time, she will start acting strange. So I believe you need to sit your nannies down. If you notice that things are not going the way it used to go, sit them down and talk to them. Let them talk to you, let them express themselves to you. I've worked as a nanny before. I left the village to Yaoundé in 2008. My salary was 15,000 francs. I left the village knowing that I was coming to take care of one kid. At the end of the day, I was taking care of two kids. I was cleaning the house and doing other stuff. I was very okay doing it because I knew that I have another little baby at home that I need to take care of. But the treatment I was getting from that house is not what I was told when I was still in the village. I was like, maybe I should just run away from this house. That lady did not give me any time to express myself to her. At the end of the day, I am always blamed. Yeah. I don't even have, like, when they start blaming me and I want to say a word, I am being disrespectful. I am talking and you are talking. I am quiet. I don't have anyone to talk to. When you want to touch this one, who asked you to touch this one? You want to explain, oh, maybe you want to, the baby is crying, you just want to keep the baby now and fix another thing. How dare you leave my baby to be crying and then you are doing another thing? If you don't do that other thing, it is still a problem. So these are the challenges that nannies go through. But at the end of the day, they don't even have the chance to sit with you and talk to you because you don't even create that time. Is it the same as you working in a company? At times, the manager or the CEO calls you to have a meeting and see you discuss things, how the company is going, how their experiences so far, the challenges they are facing. That's the same thing that it should happen in your house with your employee. Sit her down. Since you came into my house, what are the challenges? Have you learned anything so far? Have you experienced anything so far? Have I done something to you that you don't feel happy about it or you want to talk to me about it? Ask these questions to them. If there's someone that is open-minded, they will open themselves to you and you will discuss. You see where to fit in. You see where to bring the solutions. If you as the employee, you are the problem, try to fix the things. If you discover that the problem is coming from the nanny, try to see how you adjust things. Because when you wake up in the morning, you leave your kids and you leave your house to these children. Imagine you maltreating them and then you go out. If you maltreat them and then maybe you come back, you see one beating your child. Maybe it's because they got angry. They are just transferring the aggression. So these are the things. Now, employees should learn to have a one-on-one conversation with their nannies. Talk to them. Let them talk to you. Let them open their minds and their hearts to you. Have a one-on-one talk with them. And you discover that a lot of things has been happening that you don't even know. And it has been happening in your house.
This is so powerful. It's a deep insight there, Abigail. And then, like, I can liken this issue of nannies into like just like same like a boyfriend promising a girl heaven and earth when you know that when you actually do not know, mind your words. It's just like the colonial masters who came to Africa and then promised us everything just to take what we had. So, because if you look at it, you see that at the end of the day, from what Abigail says, there is no human connection between the nannies and the owner of the home. Because we look at them like people who will go one day. That's why I had to pin this particular comment on the board. Now, Adele Quinn says that I worked as a house help for 15 years. I literally grew up with them, only for them to wake up one day and said I should go and face life with a sum of 20K. Now, this is what, like, this comment got me laughing. I could not just hold myself. You see, this is actually, you see that they use you and they dump you. That is what happened, right? Most of the people use you and then they dump you because using somebody at the end of the day, giving the person for 15 years and giving the person to go and face life with 20K. Which kind of the kind of life you're asking the person to face with 20K is like facing life like between your transportation between Douala, for example, and your village. That's the life the person is facing. You're just telling the person to go back and face the village, of course. Now, Anika, Abigail just gave a lot of points there, and then talking about human connection, and then with these comments that we see on the board about somebody giving 20K to a nanny. Do you think that nannies are supposed to be taken based on contract? Because I understand that most of them that they ask them now, no, come and work with me. After 3 years, I will send you to a training school, or after 3 years, I will send you to university, or this thing and that. And this has always been failing. I think that this is where the problem is, because if you look at how, for example, she was working in a family for 15 years, believing that she was one of them. knowing that after that 15 years, they can actually also take them as one of them. Now, at the end of the day, her pay was 20,000 francs. Is it actually a good idea to take nannies and ask them to work on, and then you settle them or take them in as your own? Or do you think that there should just be a cordial, an employee-worker relationship?
Okay, that is Chris. Me, on this question, I want to say it will be dependent on the employee, what the employee stands for as a human being. Being a nanny job should be contract based, no matter what we stand for. Yes, nanny job should be a contract based job, no matter what individually we stand for. Now, why do I say it should be contract based? Because these are people that we are not connected to. It is different from charity work that we do out there. Nannyship is different from charity work that maybe it's a burden in your heart. You are taking in a nanny, it's not a burden in your heart. So all nannies should be taken based on a contract. And when I say contract, it's not mommy, I know you, my pikin, taking my pikin helper. No, there should be a written contract signed. There should be witnesses. In fact, I like there is an article now for nannies that protects nannies in Cameroon, which I'm just praying that they should take it serious in Cameroon. So this thing should be put in place. It should be put in place. And then another thing I want to say about nannyship in this context is that any employer should take a nanny that will abide to what they believe, to their beliefs. Do you get? Don't go and take a nanny that is Muslim, that will pray 5 times a day and put in your home when you know that you are a Christian and you don't have that time. You have your different things, that you have a particular way that you want your home to be going. So you'll be telling nanny that do this thing. Nanny will want to follow his or her own religion. That at this time I'm supposed to be praying, and she's not wrong that at this time she's supposed to be praying, but at the same time she's wrong because she's under your roof and it is your roof, your rules. So all employers should take nannies on contract. When I mean contract, is whether Cameroon government imposes it or not, at least there is a police station. They should make a written down contract, go to the police station, they sign it, have witnesses. Say whether you want this child to come and work with you for 3 years, and after 3 years there will be payment, or there will be a compensation, or be it a craft that you must have learned, or whatever. State it there, and if at the end of the 3 years this thing is not realized, you will pay for it.
Okay.
And if at the end of the 3 years you realize whatever you had taken as an obligation with the nanny, you see that you can still work with the nanny and the nanny is still willing to work, you still renew the contract. So it should be a contract basis, not charity. And I'm saying it that it's not charity because I discovered that a lot of employers think they are doing nannies favor. Nobody is doing, you are not doing that child favor, because most of the time these children that are within the ages of 15, what am I even saying, 15, 8 to 20, and they are vulnerable. They cannot speak for themselves. And by the way, most of them, they come from poor backgrounds, who be in this world that you are from a rich family and you want to send a child to go and do nannyship. Most of them, they are vulnerable because they are coming from poor backgrounds. They know that their families cannot speak up for them. So we should have people that advocate for this nanny things in Cameroon, because it's getting out of hand. And I will never really blame a nanny that is behaving wayward. Why do I say so? You are the employer, you are the one taking in that child. And the moment you discover that this child is having something that doesn't tie with you, either you sit the child down and correct the child, and if the child doesn't work by your rules, send the child away. Don't force it. It's not marriage. Even marriage, you don't force marriage. So send the child immediately. So there is no need you tell me that this picking bad, and then picking bad, you don't send the picking bad, but you keep it for your house. Make sure the picking good.
came back to the joy use them. It's just like a man telling people that he does not like the wife, but they keep getting pregnant every year.
That is it. That is it. You cannot tell me that a nanny is bad or employers are crying. How come you are crying as an employer when you are the one employing that child? If you see that this child is not abiding to your rules of your house, send the child away. And if you don't send the child away, don't cry.
Now, it comes to a point. I don't know. Now, getting back to Abigail, I don't know what I didn't know what actually inspired her, but I believe that now I might have an idea because she said she worked as a nanny. And that is the reason why she has become like an arbitrator between the nannies and their employers. She has been doing this for some time, and I think that she's actually doing well in the field. Now, Abigail, what are some of the ways? What do you actually do on your part to make sure that there is a cordial working relationship between your the nannies and their employers, and also to make sure that contracts are respected? Now, I don't just want to assume, but let me ask you first. Do you get them to sign contracts only with you, or do they also sign contracts with the employers as well?
If the employer's contract, I discover that is somehow exploitative, I don't sign it.
Good.
Yes, I don't sign it. If I discover your contract is exploitative, like you are trying to exploit that child, I will not sign it. Let me just give an instance. There was a customer here in Yaoundé who asked for a stay-in nanny. That child left from Douala to Yaoundé, so she was supposed to sign a contract. In that contract, like it was 3 pages. Mr. Adidas attire. In that contract,
biological science.
Yes, that child is supposed to take care of twins, 4 of them, and a newborn. That's 5. She's supposed to clean the house 2 times in a day. Dishes are not supposed to be dirty. The kids' dresses are not supposed to be dirty. Always clean and ironed. That's not even the problem. Don't touch the kids or don't shout at them, even if they have done something. Even if they have insulted you, don't even touch them. The moment you touch them, they might likely lock you up because their kids is their priority. Okay. Salary was 50,000 francs. They have to be giving you 20,000 francs every month and saving 30,000 francs for you. But the day you go against the contract, you will leave their house without them.
Oh, okay. Abigail, you left and came back yourself. That's amazing. Okay, go ahead.
So, the moment that nanny does something wrong in her house, and then the employer and the husband, they get angry. If they are the ones to terminate the contract, the remaining money that I've been saving for that child, they will not give it to her.
Oh wow!
Because the child, yes, because she was so they're supposed to be giving her. They'll be giving her 20K monthly and keeping her 30,000 francs. But if she goes against the contract that she has signed, or she goes against the rules and regulations of the house, they will not give her back her remaining money, and she will leave the house.
This is in line with the comment that Edelkin just made, which shows that that they deliberately do that to create problems at the end, because they will promise you, and when it is time, they will create problems. That's what they do, definitely.
So that girl sent that contract to me. I read. I told her that, Mama, don't sign this contract, because this one is your death sentence that you are trying to sign. That employee got back to me. I was like, how dare you send this kind of disrespectful child to my house? Contract that I've asked her to sign. She has been reading it over and over without signing. What is her aim? If she doesn't want to sign, let her leave my house. I said, okay. I read the contracts and I advised her not to sign. So it's me that told her not to sign the contracts. It became a very big problem. For that child has worked in that house for 1 week. So she had to travel her back to Douala. Give her transport or pay her for the number of days or weeks that she has worked in your house. She was eating. She was sleeping freely. And she was drinking water. What more do you want me to give? I had to send that child money to go back to Douala. I'm just bringing in as an example that if an employer brings a contract and I discover that you are trying to exploit somebody's child, I'm not going to sign it and I will terminate the contract. I will terminate our contract. It doesn't cost anything for me to protect someone's child than to sign something that at the end of the day that girl will come and suffer in your house because
Yeah.
she's working for you. If she's working for you, she has to be free as well. As you are free in your house, she has to be free. Let her not come and sign something that at the end of the day she will end up in a police station or she'll leave your house with nothing. Because the way that woman spoke, I just got that if she's keeping this child money at the end of the day, she will create problems and come with it and let it be like this girl did something, so I will not pay her salary or I will not pay her the remaining money that was left.
Yeah.
And with the
Go ahead.
yes, and with the girls, what I do with them is I have a very long question that I send to them. They have to answer. If you answer it and I discover that your answers are a little bit fishy, I will just have to put you on a hold. And we also do a thorough background check of you. Yes, if I discover that you something is fishy about you when it comes to background because it is very important, I put you on a hold. Yes, and I get the other person and we pick you up from family. We make sure that we discuss with your parents. They have to approve to us. Maybe some are orphans, your guardians, they have to approve that yes, let her come and work in your house. We should not carry somebody's child and come and keep in your house and then at the end of the day family starts problems up and down. Yeah, so when we do a thorough background check and we discover that you are okay, we bring in the orientation and the training. You can train a child very well, but at times you cannot dictate a child's character.
Yes.
Yes, you cannot dictate a child's character because people change at times. But people change for a reason because I cannot just sit and I be a good girl and at the end of the day you see me being a bad girl. You think that I just decided to change. Maybe something happened before I changed. You can be best friends with someone and then at the end of the day you people are worse enemies. Something happened before people became worse enemies. So that's why when if something is happening and problems start coming up, I have to check. I'm not going to support you because you're a customer. That girl too is a human being like me. When you bring in your complaints, I will ask her what is happening, how is work going. We discuss. Are you working? Are you respecting your contract? Because you signed a contract. Has anything added or something has subtracted? Has your madam gone against the contract that the both of you signed? If the questions are positive or negative, however it comes, we try to resolve it. But most customers they hardly sign contracts though.
Okay.
Yes, most of them they hardly sign contracts because most of the girls will be like, I want to work for a year, I want to work for 2 years. For people who want to sign contract, are these people who will be like, let her just come and work for me. I will be sending her to an evening school. I'll be like, how much is the school fees of an evening school? That's 50,000 francs for the whole
For the
academic
whole
year.
year.
Yes. So
That's exploitative.
she will work for like 5 months or 8 months or a year for 50,000 francs.
For me, I believe that any person that starts saying that come in, I'll take you as my child, that's a scam. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will
Exactly.
take you as my child. I will take you. You eat in the house. We'll do everything like my own children. I will buy you dresses. I will pay your school fee and do that. That's already a sign of a scam because normally you should give the person the money. Somebody is looking for a job. The person is not looking for somebody to adopt him or her.
Exactly.
Because being an employee, if you want to take me as your child or something like your whatsoever, that's fine. But give me my salary. Yeah, you can take me as your child and then pay my money, do everything you want to do, but like buy me food and do everything, but give my salary at the end of the month. Because a lot of people like this idea of saying that you will train somebody, or even some people even promise you to level that they will send you abroad. It's like the promises are always so sweet at the beginning of the
At the
contract.
beginning.
Yes, and these people who are making these promises, people who are direct and who the believe they live, because somebody like me in the first place, I want to live on something exact. Like we should be, even if you are owing me a debt, if you like, you say you pay me in 10 years time, tell me that you will pay me on the 24th of January 2090. I should be aware of that. Don't tell me that as soon as you have it or that you are going to pay it by the end of this week, or don't tell me that anything that comes in. People should be direct. You should be able to I think that this nanny stuff is a job. People are taking it as a job. And then this brings me to another question. Do you think that some of the nannies are not really underestimating the job and creating problems at home? This is, for example, Abigail, the other day I saw you posted a screenshot of a lady who came to you for
insulting
a job.
me.
Yeah, insulting you and then asking you what you think a nanny job is, that you are asking the person these questions. Now, do you people not think that some of the employers are going through hell in the hands of these nannies, because some of them come in and in the home, maybe when they want to control them, they will feel like just common nanny job and you want to control me. Let's also look at it at this perspective. From this perspective, I understand that a lot of people complain, but it's not everybody who is silent is okay. Though employees are silent, they might not be okay. So do you think that some of these nannies are not really underestimating this job and feeling that they want to control them on something that they're not even paying them up to 50,000 francs a month? Have you had issues of employee? Have you have any issues where you really investigated and saw that the employer was at fault, or the employee or the nanny was at fault, or in all your cases it is the employee or the nanny?
Yes, there are cases where the nanny is at fault, but yes, I've had instances where
Let me answer.
where
Let
the
me
nanny is
answer then.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, Daddy Chris, that question is very important. The issue the issue right here is that I will still say it, and I will keep saying it on this show, that if as an employer you employ a nanny and you see that the nanny is not abiding or working by your rules, you have the power to send the nanny away. It is not a do or die affair that you must work with that particular nanny, even if the contract has not gone to the time which it has not elapsed or finished. So the nanny, the employer still send it back to the employers. Your problem should not, a nanny should not come and upset their home. If a nanny comes to your house, you must be, any home has set of rules and principles. And if these nannies keep breaking the rules and principles of your home, send them away. Send them away. You cannot be an employer and you are quiet. You are not doing, I said, nannyship is not charityship. Nannyship is a job. And if you employ someone to work in your office or work in your organization, and the person is not abiding to the rules and regulations of that organization, there is no need for you to keep that person there. Send the person away. If only you have tried to put this person on track and the person keeps being adamant to that change, send the person away. Send the person, because you have the upper hand than the nanny.
Okay, let's look at this point here from B. She says that the Chris, if you pay and not take care of them, it's still going to look funny. I sincerely think the conversation is not balanced. Nanny salaries are savings, in my opinion. People work in microfinances and earn 150K and in it they pay rent, food, etc. Employers should sit up and have empathy, but nannies are very cunning. Do you have any? What do you have to say about this?
Are the nannies not working? I think they are working, and they earn a salary. Despite that, you are feeding them or you are taking care of. Sorry, they just took off the lights. Despite that, you are feeding them or whatsoever, they are working. You have to pay them their salaries. It's not the matter of being corny or whatsoever. They came in to work and you have employed them. You should pay them their full salaries. Let them get something, their full salaries at the end of the month. Or you should take a leave out maid who will work and come, and then you pay salary. Yes, because if you feel like she will live in my house and eat food and drink free water and sleep on free bed and use whatsoever, which at the end of the day, they don't even eat very well, or they don't even have that freedom that much.
Very
Let them
few
work
of them
and go
eat
back to
very
their own
well.
houses and come back. Come and work in
Yeah.
the morning, go back in the evenings. Very simple like that.
Now, Abigail, which one is like? Is it the stay? Is this you call it stay in nanny, right? And then the one that stays out. Which one are the salaries all the same? The payment all the same, or do they pay others differently? Your light has come back, yes.
For stay in nanny, they should get 50,000 francs. But if the job to be done is much, they should be paid more than 50,000 francs.
Okay.
For stay out, you have to consider that transportation and other stuffs. So salary is not actually the same. It varies.
So the
But
ones that
now,
stay out, you pay them more.
yes.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking this question is because somebody commented at the comment section is that when you go out, they ask you, even if you just go out to maybe to outside
To
just for
ease
30 minutes,
yourself,
yeah, they will
where
ask
you
you where
coming
you're
from?
coming from. Do you think that nannies who stay in are not being overworked? Are you supposed to control somebody's daughter 24 hours? Because if I'm working in your home on a contract and living in your home, are they actually under control for the 24 hours? Or do they have a number of hours that they work? Somebody complained that you are the last to sleep and the first to wake up.
And
Wow,
the first to
firewood.
wake up.
Yes, firewood. Now, the question is, are they being controlled? In those contracts, are there any hours of work, or immediately you are living in somebody's house, you just become a total instrument for them to use you for 24 hours?
Employees don't even respect that. Some will tell you that they will give them free weekends. At the end of the day, there is no weekend for them.
Good. Very true.
When they want to just beg a simple permission to go and visit their relatives, no permission is given. You want to go out, who will take care of the children? You want to do this, who will do this or who will do that? At the end of the day, they don't even have any freedom at all.
This point is very important. This point like this on the board that I just pinned, I want us to talk about this. This makes a lot of sense to me.
I'll handle how this sit.
Okay, yes, let me leave you to talk about it before I chip in my own point. Go ahead, talk about it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can get you.
Yeah, you can talk. You say you will handle this one, right? The point on the board. It's not easy to just send nannies away to your children get attached to them. It's not as easy as you make it sound.
Let me say
Okay.
something first before you go in. Let me say something
Everybody
first.
will share this point. All of us are going to divide this point into 3. Okay, go ahead.
If a child is getting attached to a nanny, it means that nanny is treating the child well.
Good.
Yes. No child will come running to someone who maltreats or who beats him or her every day. If you see your child getting attached to the nanny, know that nanny is taking very good care of your children. Now, if you discover that your child is getting attached to this person, why they complain? Maybe then the complaint is coming from you as the employee, because as an employer, because maybe you are just finding a little bit of mistakes. Not everyone is perfect. Those children, they must normally make mistakes. It depends on how you treat it. You cannot see your child getting attached to someone and you feel like that person is beating your child or doing something to the child. If you beat a baby here, that child will never come back to you, except maybe that child did something so bad. Or if you are shouting at someone's child every day, that child will never like you. But if your child is getting attached to a nanny, that nanny is treating your kids very, very well. So you have to treat that nanny with love instead.
Okay. This is
Yes.
a very important point. Anika, over to you.
Okay. She just made my first point, that just the fact that he said that your children get attached to them, it's not as easy. It means that these nannies are actually good, because children are the first test for a good nanny, because
Yes.
these are the people that they spend most of their time with. Now I want to bring this example to you. This is an example that happened in my eyes, like before me. This particular boss, she always travels. She's always traveling, and each time she comes back, she has her first child. You know, having her first child, she lived with that first child without a nanny, and that child has that bond, that attachment we have. So each time that she's traveling, this child will always cry, will always feel bad. This child always feel like a bit sick because the mother is leaving. Now, when the mother comes back, the child now will go to the mother and is so happy and will start saying things to the mother. Luckily enough that I was there when all these things are happening. What the mother will do, she will not verify if this thing this child is saying is true. Like, investigate. You might ask question, the nannies will want to lie when they also make their own mistakes. True. But you can use your wisdom as a parent to check if what this child is saying is true. What the mother comes and says is that when I leave my children with you people maltreat my children, beat them, make them, they are scared of that. I was like, are you kidding me? This is something you have not even investigated to find out if this child is saying anything out of excitement because you are around, or because there is actually something. So this is some of the things that you would detect. Children under the boss's children, they also have serious problem because the bosses, they give them right to the point which they disbelieve some of these nannies. Imagine you telling a good nanny that when you are not around, this child never behaves like this, and then when you are with me, you are saying that it's like this, my daughter like this. I spend most of my time with her. That's why you see when I'm traveling like that, she'll always cry. Okay, so you know that when you are traveling, the child is always crying, but you was putting them on the nanny's head that it is because the nanny, they are not treating your child well. So what I'm trying to say is that it is difficult to send nannies away, but if you know that it's difficult, then try to look for common grounds which you and the nanny you can stand. We are not trying to say that the bosses, they are not good. There are good bosses out there, but they fall in the hands of wicked nannies. But then we are saying that all bosses should look for common grounds at which both the nannies and them, they can discuss, they can live peacefully. But if you see that you cannot have a common ground with somebody, though it will hurt you, but disconnect. Since it will help, it will hurt you as a person. Disconnect with the person. Disconnect. You cannot tell me that you are attached to somebody and then you are saying that the nannies are bad. No.
All right. Meanwhile, Abigail, you have a shout out. Okay, now I want to talk about. The queen says she has seen Shege. I mean, she has seen things.
Of course.
You know,
of course.
That's inside wonders.
Like, you know, that kind of thing. The person saying that today that breakup hurt me very well. That today that breakup pained me. Yeah, it is today that she has really felt the pain and all that. Now, the point here is that from what has been said so far, we understand that your nanny or your kid is to your nanny like a customer. Because in that home, your daughter or your son is a customer to the nanny. And good customer service is being known when the customer is satisfied in your services. And therefore, if your daughter or whosoever the nanny is taking care of is satisfied in the nanny, it means that the nanny is actually delivering the services that she was sent to deliver. We understand that there are some things that the nanny, maybe the boss would like the nanny to do, which are out of context. But the fact that the nanny is actually doing what she was sent to come and do at that home is essential. Now, going back to this point, I want to ask a question. Do we think that our nannies are not really supposed to do better than they are doing? I want to take it, for example. I know that there are bad people out there who always still send their nannies away, who always been misbehaved. Let me say, for example, I have a company, or Abigail, for example, you have a company where you employ cleaners. People clean people's homes, for example, and you have this particular person who is always cleaning very well, and customers are always recommending the person for the good job. I think that no matter how bad you are, it will be very difficult for you to just send the person away. But there are people who are extra bad. There's people who still do that. For example, working with somebody and after some years, the person sends you away with 20K. That one is a sad case. Those are extra cases. But what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to state the fact. Do we think that for us to ameliorate this situation or to reduce it, can we not ask the nannies to create more attention, more attachment, or more connection with their customers, their clients? Your client in this case is the child that you are taking care of. Are they actually doing their best? Do you feel that they're actually doing their best? Because I know that some of them, what happens is this: most of them, they feel that they are being maltreated, and maybe they tend to pour their anger on the children. When they leave them with the kids at home, they start beating them and maybe insulting them, saying that your mother or your father thinks that they are this, they are misusing me in this house and doing those kind of things. And by doing this, they don't know that they are cutting away the connection between them and the children. So do you think that our nannies are not supposed to do better?
Okay, first, before I answer that, let me just give maybe the responsibilities of a nanny that I shared it one time in my WhatsApp group. Okay, I think as a nanny has a responsibility over the child entrusted to her to take care of: care, feeding, and discipline, etc. There are many other responsibilities. So you as the nanny, you have to know that you have more influence over that child, being either a boy or a girl, than his own parents, because they leave them to you and they go out. So you have influence over them at that moment. Therefore, mind how you talk, you dress, and you behave to those children, because kids learn a lot. And the child will always grow up having great chances to look exactly like you. So if your influence is a bad one, you failed in your job. That said, treat that child as yours through good training and discipline. Don't maltreat, no neglect any child given to you just because of money you have been paid or because of how the parents are treating you. Always remember that if you influence a child positively, he or she may look for you one day or even help you later in life. So long as you are hired to do this job, you are responsible for the child you are influencing.
It looks like our network is failing. Okay, we have issues with her network. Then while Abigail is trying to come back, let's look at some of these comments. For example, that I worked in a house where I was to take care of 3 kids, and we agreed of 30K. And at the end, that lady started paying me 25,000, and I was to work from 7:30 to 6 p.m. At times, I left at 11 p.m. It was so stressful. I just had to quit. This is Anika. What do you have to say about this one? You are on mute. Unmute yourself.
What I'll say here is that first, on the part of the nanny, I want to share the responsibilities on both parties, because a lot of people, especially those who have nannies in their house, I can see their comments and I know where they're coming from. I want to say that first, the nannies, they need to know, they need to have a strong will. They should have willpower that decrease.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have willpower, you should be strong enough to say that, Madam, this is my time, and if I have to go above my time, it's 7 o'clock. And when it is that 7, whatever you are doing, you let it go. They should be the one to tell you that no, they will not give you the job. But if you must accept it, then you must not cry over it. Then secondly, on the part of the employers, so many employers, especially in Africa, they have serious problems with time management. They like to cross boundaries. They like to I've seen a lot of people, they have that particular syndrome in them. They like to cross the boundary, or maybe because you did the person favor that day, and then maybe you're asking the person to do this thing now. The person is saying that no, because of one thing, because of the contract, and you're like, okay, so me will I be doing that one favor now? They beg you only for small time. You are so ungrateful. You understand that decrease.
Yeah.
So I want to say that employers who have problems with time management, they should work on themselves. It is a shared responsibility. A nanny should have a willpower, especially stay out nannies. They should have willpower. And the employers on that part, they should work on themselves. Africans, we like exploitation. That's what I will keep saying. Especially those who take in nannies, those who take take a stay-in nannies. They like exploitation. If you decide to take a stay-in nanny, tell the nanny not to eat in your house and pay the nanny's money. If you decide to take a stay-in nanny, it means that you are ready to take the responsibilities of that child, and you will not count it as part of the benefits that the child will have in your house. Even those who work in companies, they do have insurance. What is that insurance for? The insurance is to at least give them some benefits in that job. And if you are giving a stay-in nanny a benefit of staying in your house or doing this, it is not a favor that you are doing to that nanny. That is your responsibilities. Those are your responsibilities to do to that child. It's not charity work that you are doing.
You're doing.
So
Okay.
if you cannot stay with if you cannot keep a stay-in nanny, get a stay-out nanny. But if you must keep a stay-in nanny, then you must take the responsibilities that come with it.
You should be prepared. You should be ready. If you are taking a stay-out nanny, get the responsibilities. Get prepared for it.
Yes, a lot of employers now, they make it look like because I have a stay-in nanny, I'm feeding a nanny, I'm doing this. It's a charity. It's a benefit. It's nothing. It's not a benefit. Is that child's insurance? I can say that is the insurance of that child in your house. That is what we call insurance in other big companies. That's what you have to do. But if you cannot do that, then say the child take a stay-out nanny where the person will not be eating your food. The person, even they stay-out nannies, though they take food to their houses.
Yeah.
They take food to their houses.
It's inevitable.
Yes, they take food to their houses. So you cannot say, I just believe that that's part of the exploitation that we are talking about. You should know what you want as the employer of the nanny. And then by that, you'll be guided. You'll be drilled. You know that, okay, this is the person I want, this is the person that I don't want.
Now, let's be getting to round up. It's already 3 p.m. here. I think 9 p.m. your time. But I mean 3:15, 9:13, something like that your time. We have taken so much time today to talk so much about the nannies or whatever. What are some of the ill treatment that these nannies are also giving their employees? What do you think that employees are also suffering from? Though the employers might not be complaining, but what are some of the things that we think that we have only heard of? Nannies being sent away, nannies working overtime, nannies doing up and that. But don't we think that there are also some, because I've heard of cases where nannies run out of home with employees' money, steal money and run out of home. I've heard of cases where nannies seduce the husbands, of the madams in the house. I've heard of cases where, like a lot of cases. Do you think that these are valid?
Okay, Daddy Chris, I want to say that these are things that happen every day in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Even those who don't have nannies in their houses, they do have situation of people snatching their best friends, snatching their husbands, things like that. But now, what I think the employers they are going through, I want to say that whatever they are going through, it is because they don't have the wisdom to handle what they are going through.
Okay.
What do I mean by wisdom? If you have a difficult nanny, if you try to talk to the nanny and the nanny does not want to listen to you, you might have somebody that you know that the person can talk calmly. Don't go and look for an aggressive person to come and handle your situation. Or you call the company that gave you the child. You sit down or send the child to the company back so that the company can rehabilitate the child. You lay your complaints to this company, and then they'll call the child. They'll put the child on rehabilitation to teach back the child some of the things, the way to handle these things, so that it will make the work easier for the employers. Now, I want to talk about the manner of approach of these employers. It's true that at times we get that outburst that you just want to lash out. But on sensitive issues of life, like examination, it's good for every parent to discipline a child. But if you have to discipline a child based on their education, it should start from the day one that child begins school. What do I mean? If your child fails in the first term, that is the term that you have to beat that child for failing. Discipline that child, ask the child's difficulties, where you can help as an employer to make sure that this child navigate through her contract without you breaking some of your rules that you had put and some of her rules that you had put, because let me assume that a contract that is based on education after 3 years, and after 3 years that child has nothing to show, you as that employer, they'll also blame you. You have something to share, so you put in your own effort to make sure that before that 3 years elapses, you have your credit and the child has his or her credit. So you start the discipline at that early stage. It's not when that child has failed then the last year that the child has with you, that's when you want to start beating the child, correcting the child. No, everything should start from the beginning. Emphasize on the beginning. Now I want to beg on the nannies. There is this thing I always tell the children that I'm counseling, that always define your position in every home, even if it is an extended relation. One thing that helped me to navigate my journey being in an extended relative's house was because I defined why I was going there. I knew that, okay, there is strike in Bamenda. First, I'm going there to go to school. Secondly, I'm going there, I know that I'm not a direct relative of these people. I know that there is an iota of nannyship on my name, tagged to my name. So I know that those expectations that I will say, oh, do one of my auntie must, why not do me this? It is taken away. So nanny should take away expectations when they get into their boss's houses.
That is okay.
Yes.
That's a wonderful one. You spit it
Yes.
fire as it is.
Because yes, that Chris, this is one of the things that makes them depressed, right? If your boss tell you that because you are sick, I'm going to take money, but from your salary that is your health. If you die, you lost, your family losses also. So you take the money and go to the hospital. Forget about the fact that you are working, you are doing that, you are doing this. Take away expectation. That's the biggest thing that will help many nannies out there. I took away expectations, and that's what I'm telling other children that are living with guidance. Take away expectation. This person is not your mother. You do not have your umbilical cord was not tied to this person. So you don't expect the person to take you as your mother. So believe that this person is like this, and that's how they are. And define why you are there in that house. If you are there to raise money for your education, no matter what they are doing, soak your head down, gather your money, and you leave from there. Remove expectations. Now, on the side of the employers, they should also remove expectations, but be ready to sow into these children, because you are not just living with that child. That child is a reflection of you, and you see that's somebody that has lived for 15 years and she can recount her experience in that house. That experience is not a good experience. So you want this child to live and still have a good memory of you, not a bad memory of you, not a bad reflection of you. So you must reduce your own expectations and believe that this child is coming from this background, maybe a background where they insult people, a background where they are prostitute. But if you see that you don't have the capacity to stay with these people, rehabilitate them, train them, change their mindset, don't go in for such people. But if you think that you have the capacity, God has given you the counseling spirit to train people, you can rehabilitate them and get them throughout that situation. Then you take them in and you do everything possible to make sure that you put a positive mark on their faces or in their lives. Where I am, I cannot say 100% that where I was, it was bad. But I can say 100% that I had a good foundation of who I was in that house. And it helped me to shape me and make me not to see everything that happened there as bad. And they themselves, I made it also easier for them not to have anything to see about me as bad.
Yes.
You understand that? So those are the biggest wisdom here is expectations. Both parties should cut expectations. Don't say because I brought this nanny and this person is 20 years, this person should know that they clean. No. I was 17, but my aunt that took care of me, she showed me how to clean. She visited our room every week, Saturday. She was the one that was arranging our closet. You can imagine that. But she had her own places that she failed there, but I will not overemphasize that because she taught me. She unlearned everything out of me and started putting her own doctrine in me. So you must have patience. There were times that she will have her own outbursts to say, better you go, you this like that. And I'll cry, but she'll pick up myself and we'll go forward. So that is it. Both
This
parties
is
should be.
this is just it. I mean, you just finish everything like talking about expectation. That is all. That is the point. That is where the problem even starts. That is
Yes.
the problem starts from expectation. Let's say, for example,
Expectations.
if you are looking for a nanny today and you tell people that okay, there are two people looking for nannies, the prime minister is looking for a nanny to pay 100,000 francs or to pay 50,000 francs a month, and you have one driver in Yaoundé who is looking for a nanny to pay 100,000 francs. The nanny will go to the prime minister who is paying 50,000 because of extra expectations. You are not actually going into that home to do your job, but you are looking at what the person has. It's just like, at a certain point in your life, there are people. It's a normal part of human life which we need to really work on that, because now if I beg you money, Anika, and then you give me 100,000, I'll be so happy. But imagine me begging money from the president of the US, Joe Biden. Joe Biden who is giving me 100,000 francs. I'll say, let's shoot it on him. Then why are you giving me 100,000? Because sometimes in life we are not actually looking at what we need, but somebody's giving you something and you are looking at what that person has. When nannies go into people's homes, for example, they start looking at the way the people are treating their children and expecting them to treat you the same way they treat their children. You're seeing the way people have the wealth that they have, and then you are looking at what they give you in comparison to what they have, but you forget that you had a contract with this person, and that what the person is supposed to be giving you is based on what you signed together or based on what that person wants to give you. So those are expectations. Those expectations are things that make us to have problems at the end of the day. You actually go
Yes.
there not because of what you want to get or what you have agreed that you have to get, but because of what you feel that this person is having. So let's cut away expectations. I'm talking about expectations not in the place
Yes.
of the nanny, like seriously. Because when you expect more than what you expect, then maybe somebody sends the child to abroad. You have been there taking care of children. The person sends the first son to abroad, and you look at the person paying you 50,000 francs a month. You say, like, man, you are sending your children to abroad, but you are paying me 50,000 francs. You begin to tie your
Yes.
face, and then the quality of work
Yes.
begin to decrease at
Yes.
all. They go to the market to buy dresses. They spend maybe they'll spend 100,000, buy dresses for their kids for 90,000, and then buy yours for 5,000 or maybe 2,000, and then you start frowning your face and no, you are
Yeah.
treating your children buying dresses, you are not buying mine the same way. So those are expectations. So beside everything, you should know that you are in that home as an employee. And whatever is happening, you should not put your eyes into their
On it.
properties. Put
Yes.
your goal should be your salary. Now,
Yes.
what increases productivity is motivation, and this
Motivation.
motivation, yes, comes from what you are being given and comes from your salary and what your employee gives you too. So now, first, let your salary be your greatest motivation for you to do the
Biggest.
normal job that you are supposed to do, and every other thing should come into add. So I believe that in the part of the employees or the nannies, they expect so much. Now, talking about the employers, as you have said, there is also some expectation, too much expectation. They expect these people to do what they're supposed to do. You employ somebody as a nanny to take care of your children, but sometimes you expect the person to work in your farm. You expect the person to run your errands. The person
Yes.
becomes your manager. The person sells for you. The person does everything for you. The person becomes like, so sometimes this is a two-way. I'm not here to, like, for me to actually say that I want to say that the nannies are doing great and the employers are not doing. No, I'm saying that it is on both sides. In some cases, when you start taking the person, like expecting too much from the person, that is when the person also start expecting too much from you. Because if you took me to as a nanny, and at the end of the day, you want me to wash your dresses, run your errands, go to your meetings, buy things for you in the market, and run all your family things. And then I'll also start looking at what you are doing to your kids. You only know how to give me work, but you cannot give me money. So this is it. Yeah. So let people let people breathe. People should breathe. Let people do what you brought them to do. And for the nannies, somebody gave a point that she was employed to be paid 30,000 francs. At the end of the day, she was paid 25,000. Now, even the number of hours instead increased. So the expectations of the employer was increasing, and then that of the employer was actually dropping the expectations of the employee, because you are instead increasing her job load, her workload, and then reducing her salary, which I think that this is one of the issues that we have at homes today with nannies and then the employers. I was just trying to, I'm not an expert in that. I was just trying to, I've not been a counselor in that field. I've not worked so much with nannies. That's why I brought you and Abigail to talk about it. I know I have a wider knowledge in so many areas of life, but as far as nannies are concerned, I'm not well versed with that. So I'm just talking from a layman's point of view. Now, I think we have talked pretty much everything today. Do you have any last words?
Okay, my last words will still be the last thing I said, expectations. I'm talking this especially to my nannies, because those are people I like counseling a lot. So I spend most of my time, by the grace of God, most of the people around me, they are teenagers, which I like to share with them, and I listen to them. I get a lot of things. So one of the things I want to say to them, anyone in this field, is that take away expectations in whatever you are doing in life. It's true you should have some, but you should not, your expectation should not be more than your motivation and your objective. Your expectation should not be more than your objective and your motivation. Instead, your objective and your motivation should be above your expectations. So reduce your expectations. Believe that one day it's going to be better. Know that these people you are living with, they are not your biological parents. Appreciate the little that they do for you. If they go above, apart from your salary that they give you, if they do other benefits for you, appreciate it. Learn to be appreciative, because this is another turn off to the employers. Learn to be appreciative. To the employers, we know it's also difficult to handle children that they do not that they are not from your background, but we believe with wisdom you can navigate through this process, because nobody can say that they can live without a nanny. Not even me here. There'll be a time in my life that I know I will need a nanny in order to go further in life. So I will just pray that God will give you wisdom to handle situations better. Maybe you have been handling it in a good way, but you do it now better, even best. Learn to be attentive to your nannies. Learn not to be harsh when you want to get an important information from them. Learn, even no matter how boiling your heart is, try to calm down in order to get the information that you want. Nannies that do not stand, that do not work by your principles and your purpose and your rules in your life, no matter how attached your children are to them, please let them go. Let them go, so that you can hold on, you can look for someone better. They say that a no is not no, is next opportunity. So if you say no to a nanny, it means that it's a next opportunity for you to get the best one. So don't be afraid to send away that nanny that you feel you are convicted that the nanny is not abiding to your rules. Go away. So you have to learn to detach yourself from such people, so that they don't make you have a bad mindset or a bad perspective about nannies. And I want to say kudos to the best employers out there, to all the employers out there, and kudos to all the nannies out there. And I want to say, nannies, you can do better. Employers as well, you can do better.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hanika. That was so wonderful. It was an excellent one. And I believe that we learned a lot from this program today. I feel that we are going to do more of this kind of sessions, because this was absolutely amazing. I was also going through comments from Adele Queen. Adele Queen also has a lot to share as far as this is
I'm
concerned.
telling you.
I believe that there'll be a time that we have to also bring her life on some of these programs to talk about her experience, because she has a lot. What she has cannot only be shared in the comment section. The comment section is too small for her to share what she has had. So, hey, again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for participating. If you were part of this podcast today, either you shared, you commented, I mean, you gave your opinion. It was so wonderful. This is how we are changing lives. This is how we are shaping the world. And we can only be able to do this with your participation, with your support. Because when you share the live videos like you did, they actually reach a lot of people. And it's reaching nannies out there, it's reaching employers, and they are helping. And again, I want to thank Abigail too of our Be Home Solution for being part of the live broadcast today. It was so wonderful. We also tapped into a wealth of experience, and we believe that it's going to strengthen a lot of people. Hey guys, we will be seeing you again next weekend with another interesting program. It's very hot here at the top hour. And Nika, thanks so much, and then enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much, Daddy Chris. Wish you the best throughout your day.
Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, I'll be drawing the final curtains over the live broadcast today. And just before I leave, I'm going to be leaving you with some background music here, which will take us a few seconds to come to your screen. And I'll see you. Always keep sharing our works, and then God bless you.
Till all my fears have gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again to a family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. You rescued me, and I will stand and sing.
Presents to you Weekly Echoes, featuring education, entertainment, entrepreneurship debate, arts, and culture. This is Voice of the Voiceless. Be a voice, not an echo.